Welcome to A Few Thoughts About, the show where we dig into thinking and how it shapes our experience of life. Each week, I share insights and observations to get you thinking. No long lectures, just quick, thought-provoking episodes to shift perspectives so that you can make the change you want to make. Let's get into it. Hey, before we get going, I want to invite you to something really special, and I'm super excited to talk about this, but my good friends, Sam Goldfinch, Ellie Crow, and I are doing a totally free holiday coaching group. It's called A Christmas Present and Sober. Get it? That's cute, huh? And you can access it totally for free in the link in the show notes. Over the month of December, we're going to have regular group coaching calls where we can talk about the things that are standing in our way. We can talk about the successes. We can talk about the stumbling blocks. We can talk about how we're feeling. This time of year isn't always easy, especially if you're either newly alcohol-free, working to become alcohol-free, or frankly, even just a human. So if you want to go through this time of year with a group of people who are doing their best to make it as amazing as possible, and you want to talk about it, check out the link in the show notes. It is free group coaching for the entire month of December. No strings attached. Just come and join us. Let's have a conversation. Check it out in the notes. Let's start the show. Well, hello there, and welcome to A Few Thoughts About the Holidays, Part 2, Protection. This is part 2 of a 4-part series about the holidays. So if you haven't yet, go back and listen to last week, which was about connection. This is part 2, protection. And the thing is, like, this time of the year is so exciting and fun, and there's a lot going on. And honestly, it's stressful and it's intense and it's busy. And one of the things that we tend to do is we tend to give so much of ourselves, so much time and effort and money and, in running around and traveling and like all of this stuff that we do. But there's a problem with this, right? Most of us are already running pretty much on edge as it is. So if to add all this extra stuff on top of it just feels intensely stressful and difficult. And if you have recently made the shift to being alcohol free, or if you're working to do that, this whole season just seems like one massive trigger after another. And one of the best ways I know of doing this is taking this stance of protection over the holidays. And what am I talking about protecting? What do I mean protection? Well, what I'm talking about is protecting yourself, protecting the way you feel. If anxiety is ramping up, or depression or stress or whatever it might be, taking some time to give to yourself makes you not only feel better, but significantly more effective and impactful in doing what you want to do for others. Last week, we talked about connection, and that's a positive thing, but it can be really, really hard to connect if you are feeling strung out or worn out or burned out. And navigating this holiday season and all of the stuff that comes with it, it can be so incredibly easy to completely forget about ourselves. We focus so much on giving stuff to other people that we forget about us. And when we do that, we want to drink. Right? When that stress or that burnout or whatever it is rears its ugly head, because it's that time of the year again, we end up wanting to drink. And this is where protection comes in, right? Protection, and what I mean when I say protection, is protecting you, protecting how you feel, protecting your energy levels, protecting your mindset, right? Protecting the way you feel during this time frame. When we actually spend some time to protect ourselves, we can navigate these busy schedules so much better. We can actually show up more. We can actually connect more, because not only are we spending a little time in protecting the way we feel, but through doing that, we're able to sort of navigate these holidays without the stuff we're trying to get away from, like alcohol. So what does this mean? Like, how do you actually make this work? And, one of the things that I try, and I do this for myself, and this sounds kind of silly, but go with me on it. from a very tactical standpoint, a lot of times people will be like, well, how do I do this? Like I have so much going on. I don't have time for this. And when I hear that, I ask people to like step back for just a second and think about something, right? Like, and sometimes it's easier to quantify this with numbers. So when we're looking at how much time we're giving to other people, what if we gave 5% of that time back to us? So just as numbers go, right? If you gave 5 hours to a Christmas party or an event or whatever, 5% of that is just 15 minutes. So out of 5 hours, if you have 5 hours to give, can you not find 15 minutes for yourself? And that's really all I'm talking about. Now, of course, I'm not suggesting, I mean, I guess you can if you want to like segment out your entire holidays and, chop it up by percentages, but just by means of understanding, oh, wait, if I'm just getting 5% of my time, well, all right, for 5 hours, that's only 15 minutes, right? And people hear this and they start to go, oh, well, maybe this isn't that bad, right? Maybe this is something I can do. And I'm telling you right now that you can. Now, the question is, well, that's fine, but like, what am I actually doing with that time? And my answer to this is whatever the fuck you want. Because here's the thing. The reason we get stressed or burned out over the holiday season is that we are not in control, right? Like we are giving our time and our attention to someone else. We're not making the decision of what we need to do. In other words, we're not looking at how we feel and saying, oh man, what do I need in this moment? Right? So this time that I want you to use to protect yourself, I want that to be the question. What do I need right now? So maybe once in a while it's reading or journaling. Maybe it's spacing out and, staring out the window. Maybe it's watching Netflix. Maybe it's going for a walk. It could be any number of things. But making protection of yourself a priority is absolutely key, not only to being able to navigate the system or the season, in alcohol free, but to be able to navigate it in a way where you get the most out of it. So in the last episode, we talked about this idea of connection, and connection is a magical, wonderful thing. But in order for you to connect, you need to be fully present. And in order for you to be fully present, you need to not be stressed out, worn out, burned out. So taking this time, even if it just is 5%, right? Hell, even if you could just do 2, like that puts you ahead of where you would be at. So as you're running around this holiday season, right? As you're making all of these plans and you're looking at travel and presents and parties and concerts and everything that comes with it, make sure to add to that list protection, even for 5% of that time. Even if you get 5 minutes a day, the more you can add into this, the more you can lean in, the more you can say, you know what, this is going to be a busy day, but you know what, I'm going to get up a little bit early so I can have my coffee alone. The more you can say, you know what, we do need to go to the mall, but I'm going to go on my own and I'm going to leave a little early and I'm going to drive the long way so I can listen to this podcast, right? These little things, these little pieces add up. So if you focus on protection this holiday season, protection of yourself, protection of your energy, protection of your headspace, you can have an incredibly different experience. You can have an experience where you can have that connection I was talking about in the last episode and be present and happy for the entire holiday season. I know this is incredibly simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Well, that's it from me. Tell me what you think. Head on over to scottpenier.com/podcast. On that page, there's a place for you to reach out to me. You can tell me what you think about this or any of my other podcasts. I always love hearing from you. All right, that's all for this episode. I will be back next week. I'll see you soon.